side opposition brings up the point of consumer choice. They also bring up the negative sides of banning advertising. Thing is, I'll show you in my speech, based on my flashpoints, of how most of their points didn't actually stand on us, and they were actually prove us why advertising is actually beneficial for all firms, right? So let's go to the first point. They talk about consumer choice so much during the debate, right? So let's look at what they said. They're continually saying that, hey, it's the choice of the consumers. These aren't demerit goods, and so if they buy them with their own money, what's their fault? After all, they did earn their money, and they do have enough money to buy whatever type of expensive product, even if they're very expensive, right? So the thing is, why is this bad? Why is this point so invalid? Thing is, the consumer choice that these individuals are making, they're not, in the end of the day, informed after all. Because our side has continuously told you that why is this not a very neutral choice? Because once they see all those billboards of specific firms talking about how good their product is, they're swayed towards a particular product without trying them. And right, the thing is, these firms can even have the right to lie about their products, as mentioned by my second speaker. That's what makes the choice they make, the choices they make towards buying these products not very neutral. They're not very informed either. They're very biased opinions. They're very biased choices. Because just because it's a bigger firm, just because I've seen its huge ass billboard on my way to the store, I think it's justified for me to buy it, because obviously it might be really good, right? Thing is, that's where consumer choice doesn't actually matter, and our consumer choice is actually hampered in that case. Thing is, our side of the house provides a much more neutral consumer choice, because once again, if you remove advertisement, what happens is the consumer is forced to evaluate every good by consuming it first, right? That's how the system should work. And if he sees the price is less, he'll buy that good. If the price is more, he will obviously never buy that good. He'll see the better product, right? That's how we want the economic system to work. For people to evaluate goods based on their price and based on their quality, not the face value that they lie about on their billboards on the way here, right? So that's why their point of consumer choice. Now this whole clash point goes to us, and how we ensure better consumer choice in the economy today, right? So let's move on to the second clash point. It's the question that will answer of whether advertising is really necessary for a firm to actually become really successful. They claim that in order for a small firm to turn out big and successful, they require advertisement. They require it to be big, just like Apple did in the 90s, right? The thing is, Apple just won one very lucky firm that got their advertising so well on, right? But the thing is, let's look at it. A future very aspiring businessman who aspires his company to be very big, right? He even has amazing qualities at a very low price. He's trying to sell them. Thing is, he's instantly then and there disadvantaged, right? Why is he disadvantaged? Because he knows that Apple or even McDonald's or Burger King or Beats is one step ahead of him right there. Because people will be biased towards buying that very good. They know that regardless of the quality, they will buy that. So how does it disadvantage the small firm? Even if he did advertise, he won't be able to advertise as efficiently, as largely, as on a large scale factor, as the bigger firms are doing. They don't have enough capital to do so. That's basic economics right there. Thing is, if you allow advertising to stay in the future, you're just allowing these smaller firms to focus more on advertising, resource and put more the resource into advertising rather than improving their devices instead of improving their products. You see, what happens at the end of the day? These firms in the day are not actually advantaged at all by advertisements, right? Their focus is only distracted to somewhere else. Their focus shall now on be more captured by advertising rather than improving their product. We don't want that to happen. Once it passes, it brings another situation. What is the situation? It allows these firms to solely focus on their product. It'll only help them to actually prove to the people that their product is good without even advertising. Thing is, that's where the real competition starts. Let's see how good these real firms are in terms of their pricing strategies, and in terms of their product, rather than on the big billboards they hang on the board. That's how we want the economy to work, solely on the product, right? Okay, so let's compare the two situations right here, right? How does our situation benefit every other consumer, and producer? I've already stated to you extensively how how new startup firms are much more benefited by the house today, and I've also validated how smaller firms are actually disadvantaged through these advertising policy right then and there. And so what else does my model prove to you? What else does it prove to you? Second, it also proves the fact that for the poor man who's sitting right next to the street, right next to the McDonald's billboard right up there, he doesn't no longer feel bad about it, right? No longer does the greedy old man who's sitting in the car, who's sitting on the car waiting to be more obese, and he watches the McDonald's sign and go like, oh, I must need that, even if he doesn't need, even if he doesn't. That's how advertising disrupts even normal people's minds. That's how it influences you into buying, even if you don't need to buy them. My second series told you how this manipulated furthermore by how companies lie about their products. This is beautify them more. They use Photoshop to manipulate the people think that they're actually very good, right? So what is happening? Once we don't allow people to actually evaluate goes on their advertisement, what happens is, first of all, it doesn't tamper with the minds of people anymore. It doesn't increase people wants tenfold just by looking at a picture of it. And thirdly, it allows people to actually give respect to the people who can't afford those. If you're going to buy them privately. Not let them be encouraged by the fact that, hey, this billboard hangs right there, right? So in the end of the day, what have I proven to you? In all parts of stakeholders that starting from my speech that have proved to you, my case has been much more successful in giving you much more comparative analysis of how advertisement usually disadvantages so many firms, and it only increases the barriers of entry. It doesn't encourage an efficient economy who's using its resources allocatively or uses its resources at the lowest price possible. It's just hiking its prices. It's allowing bigger firms to only buy off on brand image, a point that side opposition has even made a constructive out of, right? And see, these firms, when they rely on brand image, they won't care less. They don't care about their pricing models. They don't care about the quality. We don't want that to happen anymore. Hence, we're proud to propose in the House today that our motion helps consumers, helps producers, and helps the economy and helps the government in producing much more efficient, non-essential goods. Thank you.